everyone, I'm Andrea, and I'm here today to talk to you about how we can get out on our rivers and enjoy our rivers and keep it a clean and safe environment for everyone. So there's a lot of things you can do from the time you're preparing for your trip until you're actually on your trip. I have participated with Paddle for Heroes as a volunteer, cleaning up the Kokosing River, the Mohican River, and the White River in Michigan. And so I've seen what gets out there. And it's not all intentional, and there are things that you can do to prevent getting any waste into our river systems. So I brought a few things with me today to talk to you about how you can prepare for your trip and what to bring and maybe what not to bring. So first we'll see here, we need our refreshments. So we need bottled water, we need snacks along our trip if we plan on being out throughout the day. But this one bottle of water, if it gets into our water and we don't clean it up, this can take up to 200 years to decompose in our water. And so while plastic is probably the best route to go, make sure that you're keeping it in a safe and secure place once you've finished with the bottle or even before you drink it. So whether that be in a cooler that actually zips up or in a dry bag, something along those lines, you want to make sure that you're keeping things safe. The other thing I brought here is a flip-flop. Even the most experienced paddlers will eventually flip. And I've seen many of these float down the rivers. And although we may think this is harmless, if there's any rubber or any other materials on here, that can take 200 to 500 years to decompose. So it's sitting in our rivers, and our animal friends and other people are experiencing this. And one flip-flop may be one thing, but then it can multiply and multiply and multiply. So it is important to, when you're going out on the river, you might flip, make sure you have things tied down, or potentially wear sandals or river shoes, something that's attached to your feet so you don't lose that. The other thing that we see a lot of is aluminum cans. And in a lot of places, actually everywhere, you can recycle aluminum. This tends to happen when people flip out of their boats or when they're finished with their drink, it might slip. But you can actually take these in and recycle this as well. And if this does continue to float down the river, aluminum can take 500 years to decompose, whether it's in the water or in a landfill. But this is a material that can be recycled, so we can help our environment that way. Then we come to glass. So I'm sure you're not bringing actual glasses out, but there are beverages that come in glasses. Glass is one of the worst things you can do to bring on the river. If this falls into the river and hits a rock and shatters, this could potentially cause harm to a lot of people, as well as animals, causing cuts and things like that. Not to mention that glass can actually take 1 million years to decompose. So you want to stay away from taking any sort of glass on the river. And if you see it, you want to pick it up. A lot of times we'll also put stuff in these plastics bags, which are great to hold things as long as we're picking it up when we're done. This plastic bag can take 20 to 50 years to decompose in our river systems. And so although we may see it float down the river, it's not gone, and it will probably be there for quite some time. The other thing I want to talk about is styrofoam coolers. So although it may seem like an easy and inexpensive option, these coolers can take up to 500 years to decompose. They also are not safe. So this lid can easily fly off with the wind. As you can see here, it breaks apart very easily, and then these little particles go floating down the river. Again, they may be out of sight, out of mind, but they're still there, and styrofoam can take up to 500 years to decompose. And so this is probably not the best bet for a cooler. So we want to keep those things in mind. At the same time, you want to make sure your stuff is tied down if at all possible. So if you have a dry bag or something that you can get onto your kayak or your float or whatever it might be, not only to keep your clothes clean, but also to keep things safe and secure in case you do flip. So I use a carabiner quite a bit. Just like this, it can clip on and off. You can put things on and off your boat very easily. Also a dry box, so if you have those important things like cell phones, things like that that you don't want to lose, this can easily clip inside your kayak or go into your storage compartment so that you're not losing it in that case. So now I want to talk to you about how we can clean up all this stuff, and you can actually make it fun. So one thing that we've discovered is something called the onion bag project. I'm sure when you go to the farmer's market, you may see bags that look like this, that typically onions come in, but what we have found is that these are great for river cleanups. As you can see, I've tied it off to my boat here, so this can actually float alongside me as I'm going down the river. The water can easily flow through it, but once I have this tightened, the garbage isn't going to come out. This can also be recycled as well, so you can use it multiple times also. You can oftentimes find these bags at local farmers markets. They may even give them to you for free, but we do want to try to put these on our river system's access points so that whenever you're going out on the river, you have access to be able to pick something up that you can use to clean the river. And you can even make it fun. Make it a competition with your friends and family about who can pick up the most trash, whatever it might be. But it's a great way to make sure that we're not putting plastic in our rivers and we're recycling our products. So I'm gonna demonstrate for you a little bit. I'm gonna throw a few things of trash here in the lake, and then I'm going to retrieve them like I would when I was floating down the river. I can easily come alongside it, and you always want to make sure you're safe as well. So don't go out of your way if it's a dangerous spot in order to pick up the garbage. You can also always notify somebody that if there's a spot that has a lot. So I can pick this up, reach over into my onion bag, throw it in. I get this can too. Slippery little thing. See how easy they can float down the river. All right, so then I'm going to throw it in here. And I already have two things of trash ready to go in the garbage or to be recycled. It's a great thing if you find something that can be recycled, such as plastic or aluminum. We can all make sure that we're participating in cleaning up our environment.